bottom of Marmaduke's food bowl. It's the IGN Digigods. Please welcome two men who stare at goats, Wade Major and Mark Kaiser.
See, I told you, it's a totally catchy tune, right? It's getting real in the Whole Foods parking lot. Now you can't stop humming it.
But I don't know. Is Whole Foods a national chain?
Yeah, national enough, I'm sure.
Whole Foods national chain. I don't think it is.
For those just tuning in, well, it's at least California. That makes
all
it national
stores.
enough.
Hang on, all stores.
Yeah.
This is exciting. This is a great way to start the show.
For
Whole
those
Foods
just
is in. Hang on, Whole Foods is in. Actually, a lot of states.
It's in New York.
A lot of states.
I know. The one at Columbus Circle is the greatest one I've ever been in.
Well, they just Whole Foods just came to New York relatively recently.
Well,
in the last couple of years.
No, the Whole Foods that opened up at the Warner Center in Columbus Circle was there in 2005. That was 6 years ago when I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, but Whole Foods has been here for 15 years.
Yeah, fine.
So, but at the Whole Foods, I remember when the first time you came out of the Whole Foods in Columbus Circle.
Oh, it was the best.
You called me and said there was a chicken wing bar.
That's it, the chicken wing bar, man. I loaded up on $35 worth of chicken wings. It was absolutely obscene. Like 9 different kinds and flavors. It was like heaven.
I'm not sure they still have that.
It was like Asgard.
What? Do they still have that chicken wing bar?
I'm sure they do. They'd better. Anyway, no, we're talking about a video on YouTube, a music video for a hip hop song. Just go on to YouTube and search for Whole Foods parking lot. And actually, they shot the entire thing at the 2 Whole Foods, the one on Montana near where you used to live,
sure,
and the one on Lincoln.
That's right.
The brand new, beautiful spanking one that replaced the Big Lots. They shot at those too. How awesome is that?
Can I say something?
It's getting real in the Whole Foods parking lot.
Can I say something about?
You
chicken
know the
wings?
deal with those little shopping carts they got.
The thing with chicken wings is that you go to a place like Whole Foods, and they have 9 different types of chicken wing flavors and whatnot, and you realize how many chickens have to die so that an entire society can swim in chicken wings. Is it really worth it?
Yes, 100%. Absolutely.
Just imagine the millions and millions of chickens that have to die so that every little podunk store,
avian carnage
in Crib Death, Iowa, can have chicken wings.
Yes, it's necessary. It's necessary for my joy, for my pleasure, for my culinary enjoyment, edification.
So, do you think that that the chickens are proud to die, knowing that you're going to enjoy it?
I don't think chickens really care.
I don't think that's true. And supposedly in slaughterhouses, which has a lot to do with DVDs,
they try to escape.
Well, it's like supposedly when they're on the conveyor belt. And
they're screaming, "Save me, save me!"
No, but there's a sense that the animals know what's about to happen because there's a lot of squealing and yelling going on. If they didn't sense what was going to happen, they would just sit there and just go, "Whatever, dude," and then just suddenly be dead.
I think that's human beings reading a lot into it.
Are you saying we're being anthropomorphic?
Yes, I do.
I don't know about that.
Let's get into DVDs because
DVDs. That's what we do.
That's what we do
thought we
here.
talked about chicken wings and slaughterhouses.
No, this is DVD. We actually, that's what we do here because we didn't get to TV last week. But I want you to go off on your Mystery Science glory this week.
Well, I'm not going to. You know why? Because I have officially reached the tipping point, Wade. Enough with these.
Really?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes. Enough. It's over.
Wow.
Well, because they used to have the. They used to release them in sets.
Yeah.
At first, they released them individually.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of those.
Mm-hmm.
Then they released them in sets. And the sets, some of them were pretty ornate. Some of them came with little tiny figurines.
Doohickeys and doobobs
Those are great.
and thingamajigs, yeah.
Now it seems like with Hamlet and Gunslinger, they're back to the one-disc only releases. And although Hamlet and Gunslinger are above average,
will there ever be a master boxed set of every single Mystery Science Theater ever?
That's like asking if there'll be a box set of every single season of Doctor Who in one gigantic box set.
There were that many.
Can you imagine? Yes. It was like 10 seasons worth. See,
I'm still waiting for the box set of all the Dark Shadows. I mean, I've got them all, but it'd be nice to have them in a big box set.
You know what? Maybe I should have used Dark Shadows. Maybe I should have used that as the example instead of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
no rewinding on this show.
Gunslinger, Hamlet, good stuff. The only ones I like are the ones that have shorts first, and neither of these do. So that's a bit of a knock on these two. Honestly, unless you know Gunslinger and Hamlet to be hilarious on Mystery Science, and they are, but unless you love them, then there's so much other Mystery Science product for you guys to check out.
Yeah, groovy.
I'd pass.
All right, well, we're going to get into some TV now. We didn't get around to TV last week. Show ran, it ran out of time. So there actually is a lot of television this week, so we got to blow through this quickly. But Season 2 of White Collar is out, and you know what, Mark? Those USA shows, generally speaking, I kind of feel like meh. But White Collar is kind of growing on me, I got to be honest. And for a couple of odd reasons. For starters, really good cast. It's a good cast. And I like Matt Borner. I just think he's good. I think he's got a cool look. He's like handsome, but he's there's something a little kind of creepy about him, a little eerie, like a little sexy weird. And yeah, and
I have no idea what you just said.
It is, and Tim DeKay is terrific, and the show is really well shot. Really well shot. White Collar, by the way, is basically about an FBI agent and a con man, and an interesting crime-fighting duo, as it were. And when you come from when you are a con man and you kind of turn the tables on people who are like you, there's an interesting dynamic there. So this comes with some kind of feature-ready stuff, deleted scenes, gag reel, a few audio commentaries, none of which is all that fabulous, but it's a really well-shot show. It comes out. It's from 20th Century Fox, and it's just a cool-looking show more than anything, and I don't say that about too many shows now.
You don't, Wade, and we're not going to say that about Supernatural. Supernatural Season 2 is now on Blu-ray. Now, this show
is like, what is it? It's like Dawson's Creek with magic.
Well, it's like an X-Files thing where you get these two brothers who are fighting evil to avenge the death of their mother. And so there's some family backstory going on there. So they really mine for that as much as they can. I'm not a huge fan of this show, mainly because one of the executive producers is McGee. And anything McGee puts his three-lettered name on, the M, the C, and the G, I just have to hate. But Season 2 has 22 episodes. It has some unaired scenes, commentaries, gag reel, a making of. And so if you like the show, you'll definitely like it. I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm sort of done with the whole X-Files, Night Stalker, Kolchak
yeah, I know.
thing. But
X-Files really was just like Kolchak revisited, wasn't it?
Although, what's good in this show is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Remember Jeffrey Dean Morgan from he was in Grey's Anatomy, and he was the best thing about Watchmen.
Yes.
He's on this show.
Yeah,
Supernatural. I like him. He's good.
Well, as long as we're talking about cons, which I was a second ago before Mark so rudely interrupted me when I was talking about White Collar, what's similar to White Collar in certain respects is Leverage. Which
I like Leverage because it gives Tim Hutton work.
Yeah, you know what? Gosh, Timothy Hutton's a guy who just never quite had the career that he should have had. But anyway, Timothy Hutton anchors Leverage, which is now on TNT in its third season. So many networks now with first-run dramatic shows. I mean, when you think back to the 70s and the 80s, it was just the three networks. And, man, now it's just everywhere. Everybody's making TV. And very little of it is very memorable. Anyway, Leverage it really does ride heavily on Timothy Hutton. In its third season now, this Interpol-based show it feels very comfortable. I'm still not totally on board with it. It still doesn't make me want to watch it on a regular basis. I'll watch a little bit on DVD when we get these things. But you know what? It's solid. It is. It's solid. And maybe I'll fall more in love with these characters over time. There's some better than average stuff on here, to be honest. The special features include a thing on what does a producer do and Inside the Writer's Room, which is some of the better behind-the-scenes stuff that I've ever seen on a TV season. So really, I kind of applaud them for going outside the box just a little bit. But hey, look at this. New episodes start June 26th. They always time it that way, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's a coincidence.
It must be.
Well, I think. Yeah. There's a show that I was not aware of until the Blu-ray came out called Haven. And Haven is a...
Don't be hating on Haven.
I'm kind of going to be. A little bit. Haven is based on a Stephen King creation called The Colorado Kid, and the TV show stars Emily Rose as an FBI agent who comes to this town called Haven looking for an escaped murderer, and she finds out that everybody in the town has some sort of supernatural ability. So the stories are all about finding who murdered the person and then meeting the people in the town, and they all have crazy abilities, and some of it is kind of silly, but some of it isn't bad. It's been labeled Twin Peaks meets the X-Files.
Oh, great.
Personally, I'd rather see Twin Peaks and X-Files than this. But, you got the first season on Blu-ray. There's 12 audio commentaries, 3 making of featurettes.
Did I mention that I'm really not happy that they canceled Brothers and Sisters? I'm kind of pissed off.
Was that the one with Sally Field?
Yeah. I'm kind of pissed off. It was doing well in the ratings. It's a good show. They left us hanging. So, there's like a whole gay family adoption thing going on there that I really want to know how it turns out. Damn it.
Okay, but Sally Field's going to play Mark Kent in
the next Superman.
Superman.
Woo.
Do you hear who's going to play Jor-El? The Brando
yeah,
role?
It was Marlon Brando, right? They're gonna.
Who's going to play Jor-El?
They're going to exhume him and pump him full of formaldehyde and burgers.
This is old news. You ready?
I know. I'd forgotten who it was.
Russell Crowe.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Fine. Russell Crowe, who's been tweeting against circumcision. Burn Notice is another one of those USA shows. This is now in season 4. I'm not as enthused about Burn Notice, but it does have that USA sheen to it, which means that it's got high production value, which is surprising because USA really has no business doing high production value shows, but they look good. Not as good as Burn Notice, but or not as good as
X-Files, Kolchak, Twilight Zone, Star Trek, The Torkelsons, All in the Family, Love American Style,
what the hell is
Seinfeld.
Wrong with you? Not as good as White Collar,
White
which I was
Collar.
just talking about. Jeez. Anyway, no, Burn Notice now in its 4th season, but it's following whatnot, and this is more of an espionage kind of deal, which might be the reason it doesn't really work for me quite so well, because once you put espionage on television, anytime that's spies and subterfuge, it just doesn't really feel quite as legit. But it's okay. It's fine. Some deleted scenes and behind-the-scenes stuff. A thing here called On the Stunts, which is decent. And then, selected audio commentaries. So, once again, tied into the show now, starting with new seasons, with new episodes this season.
There's a show on ABC Family that I don't quite understand called Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, yeah. This actually has really quite a following.
It does have a following.
Yeah.
And,
but whether or not it'll translate to its 2nd season will be interesting.
Yeah, the movie's about this. There's this girl who vanishes, and so the 4 BFFs of this town, Rosewood, they figure that their pretty little lies are safe forever. But when Allison or somebody named A starts texting them, their secrets might be revealed.
Well, the whole idea here, I think, is to try and do a Desperate Housewives for a younger demo, because all the Desperate Housewives are in their 40s, and they wanted to kind of give the 20-somethings and the tweens something along the same lines. What I think they miss is the Desperate Housewives as satire. This is not satire. This means to be straight up melodrama, but it definitely has a following, so it's apparently hit a nerve. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, season 1 is on DVD. This is not a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Special features include unaired scenes, stuff from the set, the making of, and interviews with the girls. These 4 girls. So there you go. Pretty Little Liars, season 1.
You know why I'm really happy that we have Stargate Universe, the final season?
Because it's final.
Yes, true. It's the final season, and that makes me happy that it's the final season. But here's the real reason that I'm really happy is because now, finally, Robert Carlyle can get back to doing real movies again.
Exactly.
Like, this guy is so much talent, and it's so wasted on television, especially on Stargate Universe, that let's put him in movies again, could we please? I'm sure he was thrilled for the regular paycheck, and I'm sure the residuals are just going to be, the greatest thing ever. But really, Robert Carlyle should be in A-list movies all the time.
Well, the fact is that now that he has enough money, thanks to the show, he can afford to appear in little films that mean something to him.
It's weird.
Hang on. Here's what's weird. A first sink. If I had a first sink, that'd be weird. You'd be like, why do you have a first sink? The whole idea is that this thing is porcelain or whatever. You can't have fur. It's going to get dirty and smelly and wet. You got a real sink. And then what happens when you drop the soap in the sink, and then you got to pick it up, and then this soap, the fur's all soapy, and that'd be weird.
Wow, I can't. I'm speapless. That's
if you're speechless, I'll say that speech
it's
as
the
often
strangest
as I can.
thing I've ever heard.
It makes sense.
I don't even know where to go from there. Okay,
it all makes sense.
Stargate Universe final season. Wow, there it is. No, I was gonna. My weird was now we're even close to that weird. I can't even go on with the story now. You get featurettes, the usual thing, selected commentaries, yada yada yada, and a little deal behind the season 2 finale, Gauntlet. And cast interviews. Nothing spectacular. If you love it, then you won't care what I'm saying about it. But carry on.
Squidbillies is one of those Adult Swim shows. Some of them I get, some of them I don't.
We don't get this one.
As you know, I just recently warmed up to Robot Chicken, which I think is really funny now. It took me a while.
It took a while, I know.
It did, but Robot Chicken's
I haven't
funny.
gotten there yet.
Squidbillies not funny. This is all about these crazy creatures who live in North Georgia. There is a funny episode here called America, Why I Love Her. And it's all about illegal aliens taking American jobs. That's kind of funny. But the animation's so lame on these things.
I know.
There's in-studio musical recording footage, which I think is kind of cool. Is pretty much the only extra, although there's a couple more. There you go. Squidbillies Volume 4. I have not warmed to this show yet. I'm not quite there.
Yeah.
It'll take a while. By season 12.
Yeah, there you go. If it makes it that long. You know, I have really mixed feelings on this next one here. This is... I always have to worry anytime you see a DVD that has, or anything for that matter, that has that sticker, as seen on TV. It's like, that is just so 1950s.
Yeah, but it's Dean Martin.
The best of the Dean Martin variety show.
Awesome.
Now, this is from Time Life, who, of course, has released this. This actually should be available in stores now, and it used to be mail order only, or internet order only. Here's the thing: the Dean Martin variety show, which debuted in 1965, was kind of the golden. It was one of the great variety shows during the golden age of variety shows. You had just tons of variety shows already from the late 50s. Right on into the 70s when we had, Donnie and Marie, Sonny and Cher, Mandrell sisters, Captain and Tennille.
No.
Judy Garland,
Shields and
Yarnell, sure,
yeah.
and what was the thing with the Pink Lady and Jeff? Oh my gosh, that was the greatest train wreck of all time. That is just, and that's one of my treasured DVD collections, treasured DVDs in my collection. Pink Lady and Jeff. Yes. Oh my gosh, I pull that out every time I want to scare people. It's great on Halloween. The children just turn white. The best of the Dean Martin variety show combines a lot of really great highlights from the show with all kinds of great figures from the era, music performances. I mean, it's really a lot of fun. Sammy Davis Jr., obviously, and Jack Benny, Bob Hope, Phyllis Diller. It's just really, really terrific stuff on here. However, I feel like it's not enough. And I do feel like they skimped a little, and they didn't necessarily put all the best stuff on here. You really do feel almost like you're watching a commercial. And that said, there's a lot of material on here. I mean, this is like 6 hours of material. But it just doesn't, I don't know. It just feels like I wanted more. I want complete episodes. I want to feel... more. I want more. So, Time Life, go back seriously.
Always wanting more.
Yeah, I want more of this. But anyway, that being said, the beauty of this is the Dean Martin. Do you know how he handled these shows? This is hysterical. He never rehearsed. He never did anything.
He drank.
He barely. I mean, he was always soda water. The drunk thing was a bit of a routine that he did. But he literally, the writers would work the show up with the director. They'd get everything settled, and then the day of, Dean would just mosey in and say, all right, let's go. And he'd just read the cue cards, and sometimes he wouldn't even read them very well, and he'd walk over and adjust the cue cards, and it became a train wreck. And so all of the best laid plans for every episode to try and make this thing go seamlessly would just fall apart once Dean walked in because he never rehearsed. When you see him doing his stuff, that is literally the first time he's even aware of any of it. He treats his show so casually with such a cavalier attitude, and somehow that makes it more fun, the fact that it's just a train wreck. Every single one.
There's a certain live wire sense when you watch those shows that anything could happen, as opposed to today when it seems all so overly rehearsed.
I love Dean Martin.
I mean, even something like SNL, there's not a whole lot of... I mean, it's live, but you don't feel the spontaneity that you used to feel.
Did you watch Brooke Shields completely bonk the opening number on the Tonys?
No.
Oh, it was hysterical. You got to go. Go onto YouTube, Tony's opening number. Neil Patrick Harris is perhaps the greatest talent that we have living in the world. He really is. He's so unbelievably talented. It blows my mind. Doogie Howser, who knew? Right? Who knew at that time? No, and it's, anyway, the opening bit involves going into the audience and having some of the members of the audience kind of do a little shtick, a little singing shtick, and clearly Brooke, who is my age, we're both the same year, she apparently she's having some of the same eyesight issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, farsighted, nearsighted. Once we hit that age,
Nope, not me.
Goes to hell. Yeah, tell me about it. Give it a year or two. But anyway, she couldn't read her cue card, so she had to pull out a little piece of paper. Yeah. All right. I know you love that show. I know you do.
From Tyler Perry's House of Lucrative Crap comes House of Pain, Volume 8. Now, wait, read the little circle on the cover there.
Includes 24 episodes 149 through 172.
Wow. You know what? Wait, honey, we have to go to the store. And which is the DVD that has episode 152 and 157? Because I like those. Yeah, but honey, which is the one that has 148? God darn it! Volume 7 has 148, but Volume 8 has 152, 156. We got to get those two now.
You're saying people don't...
Who cares what number the episode is? It really does. It says includes 24 episodes. Episodes 149 to 172. Who cares? And then look what it has on the back. But you know what? Only in the early days of DVD, when they need to fill up the back of the box with something, did they list
all the episodes,
all the episode titles?
There it is again,
honey. We have to get the episode called "Rest for the Weary." I love that one. That's the one where Mr. Payne is mean to his wife. But I thought that was episode 101 through 172. I don't understand the show.
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand Tyler Perry. I mean, I respect him because he figured it out, but
he did.
I just don't
nailed
get it. I just don't get it.
You know what? Doesn't matter if the show's good or not. He's a great guy, Tyler Perry. That guy.
He's a great guy. Is he really?
Yeah, he's just a good, just really sweet guy. If you are a shopper who loves your local Target, there is a Target exclusive from Paramount, which would be the best of I Love Lucy. Now, I am going to normally recommend that people go out and you just get the whole damn I Love Lucy set. I mean, just get it. There's not a single bad episode anywhere in I Love Lucy's entire run, and you should own it. You should own it. You should have it for your children and your grandchildren, and just for posterity. Everybody's got to watch every episode of I Love Lucy. If there's one that you've missed, it's un-American.
Can I say something controversial?
You've never seen I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy?
Yeah.
Not funny.
Communist. You are a communist.
Serious.
You're a communist.
It's okay. It's not like I've never doubled over laughing. Maybe the thing with the conveyor belt.
Even Mita Vita Vegemin?
Yeah, that was funny. Okay.
John Wayne and with the Grauman's Chinese?
Yeah, okay, that was funny too.
William Holden?
Yeah,
Come on.
That was funny too.
With the Martians? Gleep, gleep, Bretlit, sneak, clocket at the top of the the Empire State Building?
Maybe.
See, there's a lot of good stuff, man. It's great. Lucy hanging from the palm tree in Hollywood in front of the window. God, it's priceless. Anyway, so here's the thing. If you're going to be a cheap deal, stinge meister, go ahead. Just go to Target and say, I just want a handful of episodes. And get yourself the best of I Love Lucy, which includes 14 episodes, not necessarily the 14 best, but there are good ones here. There's Paris at Last, which is quite funny, and Lucy gets a Paris gown. Those are both great from their little European journey. The Freezer is quite funny. Remember, with all the icicles on her face, that's good. The job switching, the chocolate factory bit, that's with the conveyor belt. Lucy does a TV commercial. That's the Vitamita Vegemin. So you do get a lot of the really good ones. The Harpo Marx episode, L.A. at Last. I mean, these are some very, very good episodes. But look, I could pick another 14 that would be even funnier very easily. So you're not necessarily getting really the best of I Love Lucy. You're just getting 14 episodes that are kind of enough for somebody that just wants something to pass the time. But look, you're going to want the whole season or the whole series. I'm telling you, you want the whole series. Trust me. And then we've also got Rawhide, Volume 1, 4th season. I wish they'd stop doing this split into the seasons, but they do it with all these old shows because they had a lot of episodes back in the day. And you get, close to 13 hours worth of stuff here on 4 discs. This is from the 1961 to 62 season. And I don't know, it's getting a little old for me. Rawhide's a fun show in small doses, I guess. And Clint Eastwood, it's nice to see him, young and virile and very black and white. But I don't know, the Western shows back in the day just had a certain flavor to them, and I'm getting a little bit tired of it. Seen a little bit too much of it lately. But that being said, I'm not going to convince somebody who loves Rawhide not to go and get themselves another half a season of Rawhide.
Wait, you love this guy. Why do you love this guy so much?
Louis C.K.?
Yes.
He's friggin' funny. He's just insanely politically incorrect. This is what's interesting about this Louis C.K. thing. This is Louis, the complete first season. And I think this is, Louis C.K. had that previous network sitcom that didn't really work very well. That thing got canceled in no time because you couldn't really let him be himself. This is a little bit better because it's on FX, but it's still not like if it were on HBO or something. So, season 2 is starting literally next week. So obviously this is another one of those tie-ins. They time these things, every single one of them. Like literally all these seasons that we're talking about, with the exception of shows like Rawhide and I Love Lucy, obviously, they're just tying them in. They're releasing the first season right as the second season starts so that people can catch up. Anyway, there's... this is obviously very, very close to the bone for him. It's written more closely to his actual life. It tries to sort of do for him what Seinfeld did for Seinfeld, so it's like a dark Seinfeld. And it's good. It's good, and it's got some great guest stars on it. Ricky Gervais is terrific in his little spot. So I'm willing. I think this is getting there. Now, what I think is more interesting than anything else about this is a 20th Century Fox release. This is a double-sided disc, Blu-ray on one side, DVD on the other, and I find it very inconvenient. I don't like it. It does not, for example, work very well in slot drives. So if you want to watch the DVD in your computer and you have a slot loading drive in your computer, it's a little problematic.
Why is that?
Because the thickness is not quite right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's. For some it might be, but for others it's not. And let's say you got a slot drive in your car and you want to watch the DVD in your car, in your DVD player in the car. Sometimes problematic. So that being said, that one caveat, I hope they abandon this double-sided DVD and Blu-ray thing. I'd rather have 2 separate discs. I really would. Just makes more sense. But anyway, that's Louis, the complete first season, and I think this show has has future to it.
You know what show doesn't have a future to it? I don't know. I'm being mean. Big Time Rush, season 2. This is a Nickelodeon show about 4 kids who start a band. And the creator of this show actually admitted that he had based the show on the Monkees.
Really?
Now, the Monkees, of course, was hilarious. This show isn't quite hilarious, but it does include 4 pretty boys and a lot of music. I mean, we're not talking about the great music that they had with the Monkees, but still some catchy crap.
Yeah.
There's the pilot episode is included here and a behind the scenes. And this 2 DVD set, Big Time Rush Season 2, Wade, Mr. Ed, complete
Wilbur.
5th season. This is 26 episodes from the 1964-1965 season. Mr. Ed, of course, is about a talking horse.
Never liked this show,
yeah.
and this should have been a show that I would love, but I never got into it, even as a kid. I just thought it was lame.
I kind of liked it because there was a talking horse.
Yeah, but it never. The stories were lame.
Yeah, but he's a talking horse.
But he never. It didn't work for me.
Yeah, but the horse was talking.
Yeah. Well,
What are you, a communist? The horse is talking.
I know. Yeah, but it wasn't I Love Lucy. Thank you. Looks like
now,
we're both
if the
communists
horse
today.
was trying to stuff chocolates down his dress on the conveyor belt, then that's good time comedy.
Yeah.
Mr. Ed season 5. It's got a bunch of Mr. Eds on them.
A couple of British things we're going to wrap out with. We know how much Mark loves the Brit stuff. We got a Doctor Who here from the Jon Pertwee years. Jon Pertwee, of course, the father of Sean Pertwee.
Oh yeah.
Sean Pertwee. He's one of that whole British brat pack thing. With
yeah. yeah.
With Sadie Frost and all those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, Doctor Who, Terror of the Autons. This is from the early 1970s. And boy, does it look like it. Now, I like Jon Pertwee. I think he's a great Doctor Who. He was one of the last old Doctor Whos who was really very old and professorial and officious. And, there's something fun about that still that I really kind of miss with all these young, sexy Doctor Whos that we've gotten in the last 20 years or so. But, hey, they all have their place, and the old ones don't go away, and the production value is crap here. But there's something kind of nostalgic and fun about this. I think this was 1971 when this whole adventure actually was aired. Anyway, lots of extras here, audio commentary and lots of featurette material and cool a whole like a PDF section where they've got original radio listings and it's quite a feast for a Doctor Who fan. And then if you still haven't gotten enough of your Brit, well, this is not for British television, but it is British themed. This was actually for American television, and boy, Lifetime somehow got it all together just in time to do a dramatic version of William and Kate, just as they actually got married, the real William and Kate, and it's kind of silly and cheesy. It really looks like the kind of thing that they just threw together as fast as they possibly could. The second that they heard that there was an engagement, they got this thing in the move. They just started cranking it out.
You know what? For some reason, American audiences love William and Kate. They love it.
They love and look. It could have been like the royal hamster marrying the royal dog, and they would have loved it. Anything that's royal, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Well, because we don't have royalty here.
Yeah, we fought a war to get rid of it. For crying out loud. Well, anyway. So there you go. If you haven't gotten enough of the whole royal wedding thing, there's this cheesy Lifetime movie, William and Kate. So rock on. All right, Mark.
Hang on, wait. There's a code. Do you want to just say, okay?
Some animated stuff. Get that out of the way.
Rocko's Modern Life, Season 1. Rocko's Modern Life is another Nickelodeon show. This is pretty good. It features the voice of Tom Kenny, who does SpongeBob SquarePants. Here we have 13 episodes, 26. 13 episodes, 26. Let me try that again, Wade. Each episode has 2 adventures in it. So there's 13 episodes, 26 adventures. And, Rocco's he's a wallaby.
Yes, he is.
I'm just saying. And he's crazy. Not really for me, obviously, because it's for kids.
Yeah,
anyway, here we have on Blu-ray and DVD combo pack Thor, Tales of Asgard, the Thor film. Of course,
this
started out okay, and I think it's kind of dying on the vine. This sort of animation. It's better than the Filmation crap we talked about last week.
Sure.
With the Avengers DVD and Blu-ray, but still, I'm telling you, if the animation was the animation on the cover, it'd be great.
I agree, but that requires too much work.
But I'll give them credit. They this Thor Tales of Asgard, they really loaded this thing up. It's two discs. There's a bunch of features on it, including some Blu-ray exclusives, audio commentaries, episode information, and good stuff.
There you go.
Okay, now Wade, honestly,
yeah,
I'm going to show you something.
I'd rather we're close friends, but we're not that close.
And you are going to recoil in horror that you liked this animated show when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm. I actually didn't.
Really?
I was not a fan of the Herculoids. No,
but it had that rhinoceros that would shoot stuff out of his horn.
I know. This is more of that superhero era Hanna-Barbera stuff. And the whole space ghost thing, and no, I was not into the Herculoids.
Herculoids
it felt like their attempt to do the Fantastic Four, like a prehistoric Fantastic Four.
This is the complete series, the Herculoids. Herculoids was a Saturday morning animated TV show. It was produced by Hanna-Barbera. It debuted in 1967 on CBS, and they're the Herculoids. They look like cavemen, but they're defending their planet from crazy creatures, and it's. Come on, Xandor.
Yeah, whatever.
Xandor's the protector of Amzot.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Just give it. No.
It's the Herculoids.
Whatever.
What are you, the Grinch? It's the Herculoids.
Yeah, it's all American. That's as American as mom and apple pie. We're going to get into some movies now. And first off is an old movie, a classic movie, a great old noir from Robert Aldrich, which is now a terrific Criterion release. That would be Kiss Me Deadly. You know what? I love the fact that they just totally own the whole noir thing with this. They really do. The way it's packaged is just Criterion at their best. You always know that Criterion just has it completely going on. This is now out in DVD and Blu-ray. They sent us the Blu-ray, and it's great. They have the original tagline for the movie on the cover of the DVD as well. It says, "Kiss Me Deadly, Mickey Spillane's latest H-bomb." Back in the day when they used to say things like H-bomb.
Well, that's what this. I mean, this was the Mike Hammer. This is one of the original Mike Hammer films.
Yeah, 1955. Yep. Right, and that's why it's H-bomb. You know, you're 5 years or 10 years after the the end of World War II, and Cold War is in full swing. And this just so represents that era. It's absolutely terrific. Ralph Meeker, who otherwise is just a nobody today. I mean, nobody remembers him, but he does a really, really, really good Mike Hammer. And it's just, you totally feel exactly what Mickey Spillane wanted out of all this. This is quintessential. And there's a terrific documentary on here as well from 1998 called Mike Hammer's Mickey Spillane, which, if you are not familiar with either the character or the author, you will learn so much. And even if you are, you'll love it. It's just, it's absolutely fantastic. There's also a new video tribute on here from Alex Cox, believe it or not. I was wondering, like, what's he been up to lately? Doing video tributes. That's what he's up to. But this is terrific. This is great. You were going to say something, Mr. Kaiser? You look like you were chomping at the bit there.
No, I like this film. I'm a big noir. I've become a big noir fan, and Criterion does great noir. They're Pick Up on South Street, DVD. Criterion is terrific.
Yeah.
Their Night of the Hunter is terrific.
Yep.
Kiss Me Deadly, terrific.
Yeah.
I like the Criterion noir stuff. The one sheet for this I remember was like Blood Red Kisses, White Hot Thrills.
Oh, it's great.
Love that stuff.
Fun. Love it. And then we got a couple little compilation.
You know who's in this movie, by the way?
Who?
Small role, Cloris Leachman.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And Strother Martin.
A young Cloris Leachman.
Oh, yeah. And Strother Martin.
Nobody remembers Strother Martin anymore.
From Cool Hand Luke.
No, yeah, but nobody remembers him anymore.
But what we have here is
a
failure.
Yeah, to communicate.
It's a failure to say things.
A couple of little bits here from Shout Factory. One is the Wild West collection. This includes a couple of B westerns that everybody's completely forgotten about, but they're all right. The first one is Rio Conchos with Richard Boone, Stuart Whitman, and Tony Franciosa. How's that for a B cast, huh?
Tony Franciosa.
I know, Richard Boone.
I feel a Dario Argento film coming on.
Richard Boone, the well, you could, what is he, like the poor man's Charles Bronson, I guess, right? Isn't that what we called him once? And then Take a Hard Ride, which is kind of a crossover between exploitation western and blaxploitation. This stars the man who probably made more bad westerns than any human being in history, Lee Van Cleef. Though we like him in Escape from New York, don't we?
Damn right.
Yeah, we do. And along with Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly, man, right on. Love that. So cool. Neither of these is very good, I'll tell you. But, you know, there's a cheesy quality to them that makes them immensely fun to watch. Now, Rio Conchos they definitely represent two different eras of Western. Rio Conchos was made in 1964 and Take a Hard Ride in 1975. So, you know, the first is right from the original exploitation era. The latter is from an era when the only exploitation films really were blaxploitation films. But you get some great new interviews with Fred Williamson and Jim Kelly on here. And I got to tell you, as someone who has interviewed Fred Williamson, he's great. This interview is terrific, but you can't get enough of Fred Williamson. The guy is he's oftentimes ridiculed for just being kind of a cheeseball, but Fred Williamson is a smart guy with a lot of great stories and a great raconteur. So
he's cool.
He's great. The Hammer. He was the original Hammer. That's what he was.
Not Mike Hammer.
No. And then we also have from Shout Factory the Women in Cages collection. This is part of the Roger Corman's Cult Classics line. And this is a triple feature that includes The Big Bird Cage, Big Doll House, and Women in Cages. And, this was a subgenre at the time that was extremely popular with a lot of people. And it's just kind of silly and cheesy now, but there's kind of a goofy nostalgia factor that somehow makes it fun to watch even though you are cringing at the same time. Two of these directed by the great Jack Hill, an exploitation film specialist. and all three of them featuring the immortal, the wonderful, the fantastic, and fabulous Pam Grier. Though she's referred to as Pamela Grier in one of them, which is one directed by Jerry DeLeon. But, Roger Corman he cranked this stuff out as a producer especially, and I got no big problems with these. There's an audio commentary with Jack Hill on Big Dollhouse, and loads and loads of interviews and a lot of great nostalgia. Some of the others in this genre, not necessarily these three, but some of the others were actually written by Jonathan Demme. You know that?
I did not know
Jonathan
that.
Demme wrote a lot of crap for Corman back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Wade, since when did Liam Neeson become an action star? Isn't he like the most
Taken.
Isn't he the most unlikely action guy ever?
Actually, it was probably Rob Roy. That's sort of when I think it started. Yeah, he's an unlikely action guy.
I mean, well, Rob Roy is not a contemporary story, but Taken, which Wade and I liked a lot.
A lot.
I don't know why Liam Neeson would do the same film again here, Unknown. Now, in Unknown, he plays a doctor who wakes up after a car accident and discovers his wife doesn't recognize him, and he has to figure out who he is. Here we have a Blu-ray, a digital copy, and a DVD all in one big set, courtesy of Warner Brothers. And, this film is pretty stupid, and the plot holes are pretty large. I would just as well rewatch Taken, because I was a big fan of Taken.
I don't know why he would do that.
Taken was a lot of fun.
I don't know why he'd do that.
And I just don't know why he would do the same film again.
Nor do I.
And not as good.
Very peculiar.
But it's a good-looking Blu-ray.
Got a couple of weird little interesting obscure releases here, both of them from Kino. Kino has released DVDs and Blu-rays of The Romantic English Woman and Priest of Love. Now, here's the deal on each of these. These are kind of weird little nostalgia things. The Romantic English Woman is a movie by Joseph Losey, the great American director who worked primarily as a British director. After becoming an expat, a little bit like Richard Lester.
Traitor.
Yeah, well, he made The Servant. I mean, he made a lot of great British movies, and I don't think this is one of them, but it's a very interesting film. This is kind of in his waning years, the later part of his career. In 1975, he cranked this out. And I would recommend this only because it has two of the great actors of the era in it, Glenda Jackson and Michael Caine. Not obviously the best performance you're going to see either of them do, but it's, you know what, it's... If you do like them, if you want to watch them, if you sort of want to be a completist and enjoy Glenda Jackson. By the way, Glenda Jackson's serving in Parliament now, isn't she?
She's been doing that for years.
Yeah,
she has not acted in many, many years.
I want her to act. Please leave Parliament, Glenda. Leave the House of Commons. You're not common. We need you to, make
be
movies
uncommon.
again.
be an uncommonly good actress.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but Michael Caine plays a novelist in here who. Let's say he has certain infidelity issues with his wife, and you get some of those interesting, like some of the same stuff Losey did in The Servant, where you get into these weird kind of fantasy sequences, and you're not sure what's real and what isn't. He tries to do a little bit of that here, less successfully, I think. The screenplay is by Tom Stoppard, of all people, and. It's very groovy, so it's definitely of its era. You're going to see a movie definitely that just reeks of 1975. But you know what? Any film by Losey is certainly worth watching on any level, even if it's not his very best. The second film here, Priest of Love, is in some ways even more curious. This has a really good cast. It's got a young Ian McKellen and an older Ava Gardner and a very, very good John Gielgud in it. This was made in 1981, and it really went under everybody's radar even in 1981. This is just a lot of people are thinking Ava Gardner was still making movies in 1981. Really? Yeah, she was actually. I'm not even sure that this got a proper theatrical release in the U.S., but nonetheless. This is actually about D.H. Lawrence. It is not a film based on a book by D.H. Lawrence. This is a biopic of D.H. Lawrence with Ian McKellen playing D.H. Lawrence. And it's got its moments, not brilliant. Director Christopher Miles is not the best guy to be doing this kind of a thing, but you know what? It's a decent insight and probably would make a nice double feature or a triple feature with some other stuff by D.H. Lawrence. So, marginal recommendation there.
Speaking of D.H. Lawrence, on DVD this week is The Adjustment Bureau, and Wade and I were talking about this before we started the show. What a bit of a near miss this was. Boy, there was an idea there, but somehow it didn't really trust it. I just feel like this movie should have been a lot better. It should not have been scared to be really stylish and unique. And in the end, it just felt a little...
like it pulled its punches.
It pulled its punches.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, this is Matt Damon playing a guy who discovers that his fate and the fate of all people are decided on by this mysterious unseen force.
Yeah, well,
this group of
people. The film has a... This is the thing with Hollywood. Hollywood is so afraid to sort of go to a religious or a spiritual place in movies. And if there's kind of anything that even reeks of a religious subtext, they run away from it or they try to kind of blunt it so that they don't offend people.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah,
Ba-bam!
who's in the movie. But it's like, look, own it. People are not. I know a lot of people who are just straight up, not fans of religion, but they're not afraid of movies that sort of go into these interesting religious and spiritual places. And yet, the only time Hollywood ever seems to want to go there is in horror films. Like, I'm an angel, and the forces of evil are attacking the earth, and The Exorcist, and The Omen. It's like, no, you don't save it for horror films. If you're going to go there, go there. And by the end of this movie, everybody knew that they went there, but it felt like they just still wanted to try and convince you that they weren't really going there. Yeah, they're going there.
You know what? I think all that being said, and you're right, but I think I probably would have bought the film ultimately if I cared about them.
Yeah.
Their relationship. Are they going to get together? Do they love each other?
Yeah.
Basically, this is the story of two people who are trying to fight fate itself to be together.
True.
And that's a very sweeping romantic idea that is not really serviced by this film, because this film is too intent on having him put on a hat that makes him go from one place to another when he opens the door. So I just feel like there was something here. But
I'm still going to recommend it. I'm still going to recommend it.
Yeah.
Despite all my reservations, I still think it's worth watching because it's better than 98% of the crap.
At least to try to be something that is true. It was directed by the guy who George Nolfi, who wrote The Bourne Ultimatum and Ocean's 12. I would like to see him direct a film again.
Yeah.
And I would like to see him...
He'll get better.
I'd like to see him put his fears aside and just do it.
Yeah.
With Transformers 3 assaulting theaters momentarily.
Shortly.
We have the Blu-ray of the first... I mean, every Michael Bay film sucks, but I think that this is the first acknowledged Michael Bay disappointment, and that is The Island. This is with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. This is a very Twilight Zone-y story about two crazy kids, Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson, who live on this isolated island, this crazy high-tech compound. And what are they doing on the island? What's their deal?
It's like Logan. It's like Logan's Run crossed with a half a dozen other really just. It was just bad.
It
made no sense at all.
Did you hear, by the way, who might be redoing Logan's Run?
No.
Nicholas Winding Refn.
That's very interesting to me, although not as interesting as Bryan Singer. I really wanted Bryan Singer to do that. Why does Bryan Singer keep walking away from movies that I want him to direct?
I don't know, but I love Nicholas Winding Refn.
I still want to see. I want to see Battlestar Galactica by Bryan Singer too. Stop it.
So that Battlestar Galactica you would watch?
Yeah.
But the one that they had?
No,
didn't like that.
No. So, Mark, I know you've been avoiding having to talk about this, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about Big Mamas Like Father Like Son, because I know you love this so much and you just can't bring yourself to express your love.
So bad.
By
the way,
yeah.
Guess who's going to write? Guess who's supposedly writing Logan's Run? Alex Garland.
Oh, that's interesting.
Alex Garland.
Yeah.
Script. Winding Refn.
Yeah.
Directing.
Yeah.
Tell me you are not on board.
I'm on board until the studio takes it away from them and recuts it, because they Refn will have people disemboweling Vikings and stuff like that. Refn will give them something that it's going to be like when Oliver Hirschbiegel directed The
Invasion.
The Invasion. That's what they're going to get. They're going to get a really intense European director, and they think he's going to play Hollywood with them, and he's going to give them something very smart and a little too adult and not quite commercial enough, and they're going to freak out and they're going to take it away and they're going to recut it. And you're not going to get a Refn film. I'm still waiting to see Hirschbiegel's original cut of The Invasion. That's what I want to see.
There are some scenes in The Invasion, not to talk about a bad movie that's been out forever, but there are some scenes in The Invasion when you realize the movie he was trying to make. Like, a character will walk into an apartment, and the person will be watching television, and on the television will be news reports of that are structured to really service the theme.
Telling you.
That was eventually abandoned.
Yeah.
By the studio.
Yeah.
Because it was maybe too smart.
Yeah. Hate them. They're evil. All right. Anyway, Big Mom is Like Father, Like Son. This is a Blu-ray DVD combo, and boy, I'll tell you, you got to see this on Blu-ray. Yeah. No, not really.
Just stop with. You got to see this.
You got to see this.
You just got to see it.
You just got to see it. It's, oh my gosh, this is the Motherload edition, as opposed to. No, I guess there haven't been any other editions. This is pretty much it, right? Yeah. The Motherload edition includes bigger laughs with all new extended cut. Oh, really? Seriously? You're going to do that to us? Yeah, this also... So not only... Here's the deal. Not only is this a DVD and a Blu-ray combo, it includes a theatrical version and the unrated extended version of a film that really shouldn't ever have been made in the first place. This is just terrible. I cannot in any way recommend this. Martin Lawrence is someone I really think
just die.
He, you know what? He can be funny, but he needs better career direction at this point. He needs better career direction.
Not possible.
No more Big Mama movies, really.
No, they're great. He should do them forever.
And to do this is like a double now, and it's just bad.
Oh, but they're going to hand it off to a new generation. And then
Brandon T. Jackson. I don't even know who Brandon T. Jackson is.
He's the guy.
He's not funny.
He's the guy who'll be starring in Big Mama's 4, which will go straight to DVD.
Terrible. Like all those Dr. Dolittle movies that haven't had Eddie Murphy in them for 10 years. And then Jackass 3.5, the unrated movie. And, this was a 3D movie in the theaters. They did not send us the 3D version. Just as well. I can't watch these guys do these horrible, sadistic, self-destructive, vile things anymore. It's so juvenile. How many, at this point, it's not, they're just thinking up almost self-destructive crap just for the sake of thinking it up. I don't know. Maybe there's a real white trash movement out there. Maybe it's the people who go to the Testy Festy. Those people are the ones who go to see this movie. Tell people what the Testy Festy is, just so that
I remember that.
Of course you remember that. You're the one who inflicted it on me.
Don't you remember that? There is a... I haven't thought of that forever.
I know you haven't.
There is, and they're going to have one this year. There is something called a testicle festival.
In Montana.
It is. You remember more about it than I do.
Yeah, because I'm traumatized by it. It scarred me.
A testicle festival. It's in August. I don't know if it's August every year, but it's August this year. It's dancing and drinking and wet T-shirt contest or something.
It's a lot of rednecks up in Montana who have this festival out in a big open field for a whole weekend or whatever it is. And all they eat is cuisine.
That's right.
It's just like fried, boiled, baked, broiled, and baconized bull testicles.
That's right.
And ultimately everybody just gets naked, and they have.
What did I do for that? Did I do something?
Well, they sent it to you.
It was for Roseanne. No, for Roseanne.
It was for Kinnear, I thought.
No,
it
was Roseanne.
For Roseanne.
They sent me a. In fact, I may even have it somewhere. They sent me a VHS presentation tape explaining what the Testicle Festival is, and I tried to get us to do a show from there. I don't think it ever happened.
Thank goodness.
Testicle Festival.
Horrible. There were a couple of movies made about this exact same historical incident this last year. The first one was Centurion, which was terrible, and the second one is The Eagle, which is also terrible. Now, there was this incident in the 2nd century where a Roman legion, a legendary Roman legion, wandered up into what we know as Scotland today and vanished. It just vanished. And both of these films presume to tell you a little bit about the incident, what led up to it, what followed it. The Centurion is very much about the incident. It's a horrible film. We talked about that a little while ago. The Eagle is a lot more disappointing, even though it's a slightly better film, or not as terrible. The problem here is that this comes from a director who really ought to know better. You know that, Mark? It is. I mean, you saw The Last King of Scotland.
Oh and
you liked it.
I liked it a lot.
And we thought and didn't
Oscar winning.
Yeah, and didn't we like Into the Void, which is kind of the quasi documentary with the dramatic reenactments in it from Kevin MacDonald. We thought that guy's got it going on. And since that time, Kevin MacDonald just has not delivered. He's made a couple of clunkers, and The Eagle is yet another one. This is a.
But it is Channing Tatum, and it's just like it's some. It's just some gladiator.
Basically, Channing Tatum.
crap.
Channing Tatum is the son of the guy that led that legendary legion to its extermination at the hands of these crazy Scottish tribes, and he now is leading his own legion, and he goes to bring back the eagle, which is the coveted standard that they have to have to preserve Roman pride and all this nonsense. And Jamie Bell is the slave who becomes his ally, and it's not good action, it's not a good story, and it just feels like a really elaborate, bloody game of capture the flag. That's what it feels like. I could not get with this film on any level whatsoever, and I'm just kind of astonished that nobody could see that in the script phase. But anyway, look, we get an alternate ending here, and it's a pretty Blu-ray, and that's about it. But other than saying that it looks good and it's got great audio, this alternate ending is meaningless, and the Kevin McDonald commentary is really disappointing. I'm beginning to wonder if he wasn't just a one-hit wonder or a two-hit wonder. Could be.
I mean, obviously we don't know what material he's being offered.
He should be writing his own material or picking his own projects and developing it and sling that weight around. Otherwise, he's going to become a straight to video B-movie guy, a television guy in no time.
That'd be awesome.
Terrible. Just dreadful.
Speaking of just dreadful, now Bending the Rules is a interesting film because it stars Bradley Cooper. Now you're saying, whoa, Bradley Cooper, he's got a film that's going straight to DVD, Bending the Rules? Well, ladies and germs, let me tell you something. This was done a little bit before Bradley Cooper became Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, see, they're digging up all the stuff that he used to do, and now it's...
Happens all the time. So this film is about... it's funny, he actually winds up getting third billing. Colleen Porch and David Gale get the top billing. And it's directed by someone you've never heard of, written by someone you've never heard of, starring people you've never heard of except for Bradley Cooper. And look, guys got to start somewhere. And film's not very good. It doesn't matter that Bradley Cooper's in it. It's just not very good.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
So I'd pass.
And we're wrapping out the show. We got a little bit of time here to lay out a few final titles. The Blu-ray for The Boondock Saints is out. Now, The Boondock Saints has somehow managed to maintain a surprisingly strong fan following, more so than most films like this, which kind of amazes me because it's not that good. Sean Patrick Flannery and Norman Reedus are decent in it, but the movie itself is just, it's like any of these kind of gritty crime films, and I think there are a lot better movies out there. But that being said, here it is, and it's on DVD, it's on Blu-ray, and this is the 10th anniversary release of it, and it looks great. But what's really much more interesting than this is the backstory of this film, which you can actually see in the documentary.
It's called
Overnight.
That's
Overnight. Wherein Troy Duffy, is sort of exposed. He's the writer-director of the film, and his whole experience making this thing as an overnight success and how it turned into a nightmare. That is more interesting.
He hasn't done anything.
No.
He's
been living off this film for years. So I would say this is a good rental if you're going to watch it with Overnight. Overnight is the film you should be watching. And this includes a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff, audio commentary by Troy Duffy, which is decent and more interesting in tandem with, again, Overnight. You also get an audio commentary by Billy Connolly on the theatrical cut of this, which is in tandem here with the extended cut, which is pretty much the same movie. But Billy Connolly, better in stand-up mode than in audio commentary mode, but it's Billy Connolly, for crying out loud. We love Billy. And lastly, there is a thing on here called The Boondock Saints, the Film and the Phenomenon, which I think tries to explain a little bit why this movie has become such a phenomenon, but I don't know that it really satisfied my curiosity or answered all my questions. It still doesn't. I'm still wondering why.
I'm not really sure that the film warrants the Phenomenon title.
It doesn't.
I mean, honestly.
No, it doesn't. So, anyway, that being said, I am still on hiatus, obviously, from Stupid for Movies, but I do encourage you to watch Stupid for Movies.
Just say you quit the show.
No, well,
you ain't coming back. It's okay, we'll move on without you.
2013. That's my return. 2013.
We'll count the days.
Count the days. No, it's still a terrific show. Mark is on it, so definitely check out Stupid for Movies with all the new movies that are ready to come out. They'll wow you. Whoever Mark has as his co-host they'll stun you and they'll amaze you, and I'll be there watching with everybody else. Otherwise, email us at gods@digigods.com, and we'll see you next week.